Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Alstine Film Podcast, where we talk films and other things in nerd culture. My name is Tom, and as always, I'm joined with my co-host John.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
Me,
It's
guy
you.
Who is late, but
You're late, and you have a broken phone. So
yes.
We're
What am I gonna
we're starting on a good note, and John has a new microphone.
do? Hey, yeah. So
Imagine
I hope
that.
I sound a little bit better because my phone is broken. So now I'm doing it on a better software, better microphone. So.
Yeah, that's what we're all about. We're all about making this the best it can. It's probably going to sound quite shit from my end today because there's work going on in my house, so you might hear scraping and banging.
I had some work today.
Yeah, you did.
Yesterday, 2 days ago. I had there was a builder who wanted to fix the floor, so we got a new floor in the hallway.
Oh, very nice.
So now it looks amazing.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So yeah, let's talk about what's happening.
Let's let's get into it. We've got quite the show today. I'm very excited. We're talking about the news, and then we're gonna be talking about a possible live action Spider-Verse, which may or may not be happening. As always, there are time codes in the description, so jump around to go to wherever you want.
Yeah.
Because
if you're a Marvel fan or DC fan, just switch between them.
Yeah. There are things to talk about, and as always, we're gonna start with some of the best. We've got some casting news, John.
Wait, is this casting news?
This is casting news.
Ah! Wait, give me a sec. Why does it have to be casting news? Why?
I have a feeling that we're gonna hear a lot from the Echo today.
Yeah. I'm very sorry.
That's all right. It's very okay. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one, but there is gonna be a Cleopatra film.
Oh,
in
yeah,
which
I heard about this.
Gal Gadot has been cast as the titular role, with Patty Jenkins directing. Patty Jenkins, of course, who did Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984. So these two have a pre-existing partnership, I guess you could say. And writing is Laeta Kalogridis, I think. Now she's written.
Yeah, we're very sorry if we can't pronounce that name.
Yeah, that's a bit of a difficult name. She's had a bit of a weird, history. She wrote Terminator Genesis, and then she wrote Shutter Island, the Birds of Prey TV show, Alita Battle Angel, and Altered Carbon. So she's written some.
That's a very weird mix right there. That's a weird mix. Ooh, sorry, I had to use this for some. If there's something weird, you have to use it.
Yeah, I should have said up front. This week, John's stuck in a well. So he's going to do all of his stuff from down the well.
Yeah, I'm just popping up and down and see what's happening. So yeah, it's kind of looks like I'm working in a well. So yeah.
Oh, you're working in a well.
Yeah. What do I
Nice.
think about this?
What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting because we want to see more Gal Gadot films. We're working with has a great partnership with the director of Wonder Woman, and I think that's going to be a very interesting film to see.
I agree. I think Cleopatra. I've never really thought to myself, yes, the one film that I do really need is Cleopatra. But I guess it's happening now.
Yeah. I hope it will be really good. Yeah, because I think there's how many Cleopatra films? No, I don't. There's not many. So
I didn't even know there's any.
Yeah. So I'm glad they're gonna focus on the history. So
Yeah, me too. Okay, so going on to some different news.
Oh no!
So now we've got more casting news. So Furiosa. What? John, you're in the well.
Sorry.
He's still in the well. Okay, so Furiosa, which is the prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, has just cast a few people. So Anya Taylor-Joy has been cast as Furiosa herself. That was actually rumoured quite a while back, so that's been confirmed.
That was way back, I think, yeah.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen is going to be in it. So he was in Aquaman and Watchmen, and he's been in a whole bunch of stuff more recently.
He's a great actor.
He really is.
Underrated. Very underrated.
He's just been in the trailer of the Chicago 7, which is on Netflix now. And then Chris Hemsworth is always in it, obviously. He's Thor and all that.
Because he's Chris Hemsworth.
Because he's Chris Hemsworth, exactly.
Exactly.
So this is going to bring back George Miller to direct. He directed Mad Max Fury Road. I haven't actually seen Mad Max Fury Road. I've seen it. It's
a very, very good film.
Yeah,
but,
I've heard...
when Empire, the film magazine that we all love and hate at the same time, but we love it so much. So they decided to make Mad Max like the best film of all time in the 21st century.
They did.
Which I disagree.
They really did. That was mental.
So much. But let me tell you, Mad Max Fury Road is a very enjoyable film to watch. You got some action, you got some pieces, but then it's not a very good plot line. I mean, it's like going to point A to point B, then going back to point A.
All right.
So it's a bit weird, really.
I think that that vote was actually a public vote. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure
Really?
It might have been the public that voted into that as the best film of the 21st century.
I got to hand it to the practical effects, really, in the film. I recommend it. It's
I've heard nothing but good things, but I do intend to watch the other 3 Mad Max films first. Yeah. And just because, that's just kind of how I work when watching stuff like this. I want to watch everything as it happens. But this sounds pretty cool. And I guess closer to the time, we'll do an episode on Mad Max Fury Road. We'll both rewatch it. I've actually got it on DVD on my shelf.
Really?
So I don't really have an excuse not to watch it other than I haven't watched the other ones. Yeah.
Wait. You have the movie on your shelf?
Yes. I got it for like £1, like a charity thing.
That's a bargain right there.
It's a bloody bargain. It's a bargain.
It's a bargain. Go to the bargain booth. Sorry, not sponsored.
Not sponsored by... Okay, next piece of news. This is a very weird one, but SpongeBob is getting a prequel.
I haven't heard this.
A SpongeBob prequel called Kamp Koral, which is about all the main characters as kids.
Right.
Why?
First of all, that's weird.
That is very weird.
Why?
Yeah.
After when the creator of SpongeBob and the director died...
Yes, rest in peace.
A lot of Nickelodeon people who worked on it decided to make some spin-offs, but the director and the creator did not want any spin-offs or anything.
No, yeah. It seems like a bit of a, an insult to their memory to just keep on, making these things. Because, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Why would there be a young, Mr. Krabs with a young SpongeBob? It doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah, you don't need a prequel on that. Cause,
no.
When I watched SpongeBob when I was younger, I didn't need to know everything about their past or anything. It's just about,
it's an anthology series as well. You can just dip in and you don't have to know, all the previous episodes.
Yeah, and it's quite funny, so...
yeah, it is. The first SpongeBob film, what a film. I used to love that film. The second one, not so much. But the first one, used to love it. With David Hasselhoff, what a film.
Yeah, what a film. I love that film.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very good film.
Yeah. Quite funny.
And it's got David Hasselhoff.
It does. Yeah, as I just said. Okay, we've got some other prequel news. I'm not... This is... okay, Grease is going to have a prequel series on HBO Max.
What?
The musical Grease is going to have a prequel series on HBO Max.
You kidding me?
Oh no, he's in the well again! John, come out! Oh, he's lost. He's lost forever. He fell down the well. God damn it.
Actually...
No,
am I actually hearing this?
It's getting a prequel, and I have no idea why. I don't... Yeah, so it seems this is going to be a set in Rydell High, focusing on the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies.
We don't need to.
Like, you don't need a prequel. Like, there's no background. Like, there are some, like, interesting concepts, but there's nothing really that I need to see.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen the films, you obviously know why we don't need a prequel, because as far as prequels, we kind of know they're great, but they're bad, but they don't actually add anything to the universe, really. But but there has been great prequels, like
it's true.
Rogue One.
Star Wars, there have been
that one?
some really
Yeah,
good
that's great.
prequels in the past, but like, you know, I think prequels are still really like uncharted territory. You know, they're very dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, on one hand, you've got prequels like The Hobbit, which don't really add anything at all, and then you got things like X-Men First Class, which really do add things. You know?
Yeah. So I'm not looking forward to this,
No, me
but
neither.
it's HBO Max. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, they can. It's true. There are some really interesting HBO Max rumors, which we might cover in another week. But there's some exciting rumors about like
Really?
a possible Batfleck show, a Black Canary show. Like, especially on the DC front, there are some really exciting rumors going around. I'm sure we'll cover that when we have some like more, you know, detailed reports. Okay, we've got some more casting news, John. As promised, it's a good news week. Okay, so in a mystery role, Sarah Shahi, I think I'm saying that name right, has been cast in Black Adam. So Black Adam, The Rock has said that Black Adam is aiming to film next spring, so spring 2021, but it doesn't yet have a release date. So
Oh yeah, I remember the driver release date, so that's going to be a bit weird, really.
yeah. So Sarah Shahi, I'm looking at her IMDb right now.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't been in much.
Okay,
Well, that's not true. She's been in quite a lot of things, but nothing like that really jumps out at me. So she was in Alias, which I hear is a decent TV show. She's in a film with Sylvester Stallone called Bullet to the Head, which looks about as typical action movie as you can get. And then something called Old School, and then something called Fairly Legal. So it's not doesn't look very special. But yeah. That's news.
I mean, we did talk about like the Black Adam stuff about, you know, in DC fandom when there was an actor who came from rom-com.
Yes, Noah Centineo.
Yeah. I do see potential in him as well.
Yeah.
And
well, since then there was someone else who was cast in the film as Hawkman. So maybe Sarah Shahi will be playing someone from the Justice Society of America. I can't remember exactly who is going to be in it, but I remember Atom Smasher is in Hawkman at the very least, and maybe Dr. Fate and someone else. I can't remember who, but I know that they are planning to do something with that. It was Aldous Hodge who was cast as Hawkman. So yeah.
I'm pretty interested to see what's going on in the DC
Okay, here it is.
Because they have so much stuff to go.
Everything happening. It's Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher. So Sarah Shahi might be playing Cyclone, character who I know nothing about, but still, you know, that is definitely a thing. Okay, so we're moving on to some Star Wars news now.
Yay, Star Wars! Woo.
We do love Star Wars. Star Wars: The High Republic, which is the next kind of stage in the Star Wars universe, set 200 years before Episode 1.
200 years, Episode 1?
Yeah, this is a series of books and comics that are going to be starting next year. In a panel in New York, I think it was New York Comic Con, they announced they're going to be doing 3 more books, so books 4, 5, and 6 after the first 3 that are coming out.
Oh wow, really?
Beginning of next year. So
Yeah, you're pretty excited for that.
I am. We've covered Yoda and his new look in the. Oh, very amazing, incredible!
Thank you.
You should do the whole podcast just in a Yoda impression.
Wait, let me try it with the echo. Wait, give me a sec.
That's good. It's not too bad. I want you to keep on going. Just talk. Whenever we do Star Wars news, you have to do Yoda's voice.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that. That's a tradition right there.
So yeah, it seems like we're gonna have more High Republic stuff and maybe a TV show later down the line.
I think a TV show would be pretty interesting to add alongside with the comics. And, as well, because I there's nothing like. Have you ever think like there's like a TV show alongside with the comics that's mixed together? Because that's pretty interesting to see. You know,
right? Like a kind of cross media kind of thing.
Yeah, like that's what that's really rare as well. But I would like to see that going with the books alongside the comics and TV show. Yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting mix, and that'll get a lot of people.
I agree.
Yeah,
they called the High Republic the books that are coming out. They called it Phase 1. So maybe they are gonna do TV show, maybe a video game, and then maybe eventually a film. You know, there are still quite a few films coming from the Star Wars universe that they have planned. Mm-hmm. So some more Star Wars news now.
Oh yay, Star Wars!
So Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, which is coming to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. Yeah,
right?
Go on.
It now has a release date of November 17th. We'll be covering it on the pod. That's definitely going to happen. And has announced some returning actors. So Billy D. Williams is going to be in it as Lando Calrissian. Kelly Marie Tran as Rose Tico. Anthony Daniels as C-3PO. D. Bradley Baker as all the clones. James Arnold Taylor as Obi-Wan. He played Obi-Wan in Clone Wars. Matt Lanter, who played Anakin in the Clone Wars, and then Tom Kane, who played Yoda in the Clone Wars. Bust out your Yoda impression. I can't do it. My throat too hurts. I'll just do like a little raspy. that was a bit too evil there.
Yeah, that was a bit too far.
Dangerous.
There is another.
Nice.
Always true there are. No more, no less.
Right.
Thank you.
Any more news on Star Wars, or is that it?
Yes, there is one more piece of Star Wars news. Jon Favreau says that The Mandalorian is planning to shoot season 3 at the end of this year.
Oh yeah, that's a very, very that's quick. That's very quick.
Yes.
Okay, firstly, that's very impressive because we didn't know it was in production.
They finished season 1 like a long time ago. Yeah, like the beginning of this year, I think. No, not season 1, season 2.
Season 2 this year. That's a very
That's insane.
But that's very, very, very impressive because if you haven't seen the behind the scenes with the Mandalorian or the gallery, or you haven't seen it on YouTube, go watch it because you kind of understand why they shoot very quick. You know, like they don't have to use a lot of things because it's very impressive what they use. Like
the volume,
the
volume,
these massive screens behind them, and
the
it looks
volume.
like special effects. But
it's called the volume.
Yes,
the volume. It's called the volume. Yeah, it's super impressive. I don't know why no one did it before, but it's super cool. Also, on top of that, there's going to be another trailer for Mandalorian Season 2 on Monday, so look out for that. Yeah, with the some sort of sporting event. I don't know.
Sport, really?
Yeah, so there's
going to be a sporting event.
It might be the Super Bowl. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we all know what Super Bowl is like.
Yeah, we always get Super Bowl trailers. I remember when the Civil War trailer came out in the Super Bowl, and it had like the shot of Team Cap and Team Iron Man standing against each other. That was cool. That was really cool.
I gotta say that Super Bowl trailers are really cool.
Yeah, I agree. They were great. Okay, now we've got some uncasting news. So a while back, the news came out that Tatiana Maslany is going to be playing She-Hulk. Loads of sites reported this. Even Mark Ruffalo tweeted and welcomed her to like the Hulk family. But now she's come out and said it isn't true. So she said that actually isn't a real thing, and it's like a press release that's gotten out of hand.
What?
That is very strange.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she's not actually playing She-Hulk.
Wait, but Mark Ruffalo, but he's... What?
Yeah, it's very weird.
That's very, very weird.
Yeah, I honestly, that's, yeah, I don't know what to say. That's just strange, flat out.
Yeah, usually, whenever there's a new Marvel actor or actress, one Marvel actor just welcomes into the Marvel universe. But
yeah,
but this one, that's very strange.
it is. But yeah, who knows what will come of this? Watch this space, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, and now some Black Widow news. It's reports are coming
I
out.
This movie existed.
Yeah.
I'm
Reports
very sorry, Marvel, but yeah.
Reports are coming out that a big Disney investor has been urging Disney to release Black Widow on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
which,
put it on Disney Plus.
See, I'm not sure because cinemas are gonna need something like Black Widow.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they're gonna need the big things, and if they just put everything on Disney Plus, that might mean.
I feel like you know that meme. They use something bad, but somehow it turns out really good. So like I've used Black Widow to get the money for cinemas. Wait, what if Black Widow actually saves cinema?
Right, that would be the most ironic thing. Well, not ironic, but the weirdest thing.
That is weird. No, I would praise Black Widow. No, not the film, but like how it saves cinema.
I agree.
Oh no, Scorsese's gonna go.
Oh yeah, Scorsese's mind is gonna be absolutely destroyed. He's gonna be like, "What is this?" Yeah, that's so weird.
I would be laughing so hard if it actually reaches the box office expectations, and then a lot of people are going to cinemas, and yeah,
yeah, that would
we
be.
don't know what's gonna happen.
That would be really, really weird. Hey, John.
What?
We got some more casting news. Yeah, your favorite. Okay, so this is some Doctor Strange casting news. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness have apparently cast Xochitl Gomez. That is a name that I can't pronounce. I'm very sorry.
What?
In a mysterious role, but some people are suggesting that it could be Miss America.
Miss America?
I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna lie.
That just sounds very, very. That's a weird superhero name.
Yeah.
Miss America.
It seems like the more I hear about
Marvel.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the more I just wonder, like, how mad is this film gonna be? Like, how far are they gonna go? Because it seems like they're going quite far with it.
Yeah, they're actually going too far with this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to say about the Multiverse of Madness.
Well, Sam Raimi's directing it, so...
I mean, I have faith in Sam Raimi.
Sammy Raimi. You know him as Sammy, yeah.
Shush. Yeah. I'm not sure, but it might sound good. It might sound really good though. So.
Yeah. Maybe.
But we haven't got any like new information, like trailers or anything. Yeah, we haven't got like really good trailers coming out.
No, there's not been much on the trailer front. Like, the last one we had, I guess, was James Bond.
Oh.
And no Marvel or DC trailers either. Well, I mean, we had DC fandom at the very least. But,
yeah, DC fandom.
Somebody did say I think it was somebody in Sony did say that we're going to get our first look at Spider-Man 3 in December.
That's 2 months away.
That's 2 months away, so that's interesting. I wonder what that will show. But yeah, okay, so we've got 2 more pieces of news. The first one is that Michael B. Jordan is going to produce the Static Shock film for DC. That's cool. He's a great actor, and I think that he's...
I think he'll fit into the role.
I agree.
I don't know what the character is, but I'll look into...
He's not playing it, he's producing it.
Oh, producing it?
Yes.
Oh.
So, if I understand correctly, I think that Static Shock is an African-American teenager who has, similar powers to Black Lightning. So, electric powers. So, yeah, Michael B. Jordan's a bit too old to play him, but still... Michael Jordan is a good name, and I think that he'd do well as a producer. I think I think he knows to choose his the right projects. Okay, final piece of news now. Star Trek Discovery has been renewed for season 4. Have you watched Star Trek Discovery on Netflix, John?
No.
Me neither. But it's Star Trek, and I do want to say that I want to watch it. Maybe we will one day before season 4 comes out.
Yeah, here's the thing. I love Star Trek. I love the movies. And I had a Star Trek encyclopedia, but I
gave it to me. You did.
Yeah, because it's really good, and I thought you would like it.
Yeah, I've seen the new 3, the new trilogy of Star Trek films. I've seen the original 4 out of 10. And I've seen Star Trek Enterprise Season 1. So I'm very slowly getting through Star Trek. But I like it. I do like it.
Yeah, I love the new trilogy. It's a really...
Oh, yeah. Star Trek Beyond doesn't get talked about enough.
Oh, Star Trek Beyond?
I love that film.
Ah.
A lot. And I want to...
Yeah, a lot of people don't talk about that.
Yeah, they don't. I want to just say that I hope they don't make a 4th film.
Yeah, the third one is a fitting ending. Yeah,
I agree. It's a really good ending, and they would have to do it without Anton Yelchin as Chekhov. So it would it would be weird. And if they brought back Chris Hemsworth, I don't know. I think it would all be very strange.
Yeah. I just leave it as it is. It's really good.
So I am sorry, John. I did tell you that was the final piece of news, but we have some more news. Yeah. Even better, we have some casting news. Oh, he's gone down the well again. God damn it. Okay, so Danny Ramirez has been cast in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Which is weird, because I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was...
Wait, sorry, what was his name again?
Danny Ramirez.
How'd you say Ramiro?
Ramirez. Irez.
Oh, Ramirez.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Interesting.
What?
Yeah. Danny Ramirez. I'm very sorry, but I forgot who he was in films and.
Yeah.
He was in. Top
apparently, yeah.
He's supposed to be in that film.
Apparently he's going to be in that, but I'm not sure.
Right.
That hasn't come out yet, obviously. But yeah, this is weird because I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was nearly finished filming. I thought they had a week left to go.
They had a trailer and everything.
Yeah, they had a little trailer. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot that existed.
Right.
Well, we're gonna talk about that next week. Our next week's subject is upcoming Disney Plus releases. We're going to be talking about The Mandalorian, we're going to talk about The WandaVision, we're going to talk about The Bad Batch, we're going to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're going to talk about Kenobi, and we're going to talk about Loki. So,
yes, tune in for that.
Yes, this time next week, folks. Alright, shall we get on to our main segment of the day?
Yes. I have no idea what's the main segment for today, because my phone is being super weird, so Tom, tell me, what's the main segment of the day? Is it going to be a quiz? Is it going to be talking about our favorite films, or
It's-
is it going to be something else entirely?
It's actually a Yoda quiz. It's not. We're going to be talking about the live-action Spider-Verse. So we've had
That's a
some.
good segment. That's a good segment.
We've had some wild news across the past few, weeks. We had the news of Jamie Foxx, and there was the news of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Some sources say it's happening. Some sources say it's not happening. And then we've had news of a new villain of him. Let me just have a look. I can't remember what the villain's called. I think he's called Spider Slayer. But yeah, this film looks to be big, very big.
Very.
What do you think? Let's talk about it. What do you think about a live action Spider-Verse?
Okay, so let's take it back to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. We saw that film. We enjoyed that film because it was a totally different film, because it was a literal comic book film. And we knew the possibilities of having a Spider-Verse, but having a live-action one, that's tricky. That's very tricky, because you
I
need
agree.
a lot of people like acting and a lot of directing styles for it, and if you think about having the three different Spider-Men, if you've seen the films, each and every one of them, all three of them have totally different, different setting, well, a different, I don't know how to say it,
Vibe.
a different way to their film.
Different tone.
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, it's a little bit, a bit darker, a bit uplifting, a bit upbeat. You know what I mean? You got him as,
It's more playful.
Yeah, playful, a bit more playful, but then it got a bit dark at times. And then if you look at Andrew Garfield, it is quite a bit, how would you say it?
Edgier.
Yeah, edgier, a little bit edgier, because it was like a bit more darker.
Yeah.
Way more darker than any Spider-Man we've seen, because we get to see.
What?
Sorry about that. Because we did spoilers, we do get to see the death of someone that we know.
Yes.
Stacy,
just a heads up. Spoilers for every Spider-Man film. That's Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, all the MCU, and Venom. So if you haven't seen them, I'm sorry.
So and then you have Tom Holland. This is way more playful than and a bit more upbeat than the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, because it's MCU.
Yeah, it kind of gets like a middle ground between them. It tries to do a whole new thing. It tries to create a whole new.
If you go back to the Spider-Verse, that worked really well, because we didn't know any of these characters, but in the comics you did. But then if you see them on screen, it totally worked, didn't it? Because you got totally different characters.
Yeah, I agree. Spider-Verse is a really weird one, because you've got these characters who you've never seen, and they manage to balance like 5 different Spider-Men, and they do it really, really well.
Yeah, and if we have an actual live action one, that's going to make it a bit complicated with the different actors, and I wonder how they're going to, come together. How they're going to have like character development.
Yeah, like the Beatles.
Yeah, but then how are they going to meet? How is it going to go well?
Yeah.
Is it going to contribute to the story? Is it going to make them a better team or something?
Yeah, so in Spider-Verse, you're bringing characters who people have never seen before.
Yeah.
But with a live-action Spider-Verse, you've immediately got a trickier task, because you've got the film has to carry the weight of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, who have fans who want to see them again, who want to see them do,
And
Like,
And-
be the Spider-Man who the film is telling a story about.
Yeah, and the thing is that we all know these actors. We all know what happened in the films, and we know where it left off. Especially the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, mate.
Okay, side note: if they actually continue the ending of the Amazing Spider-Man 2,
That would be interesting.
that would be interesting because back in 2014 or 2013.
14.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
It really was, wasn't it? 6 years?
Yeah,
Wow.
and we didn't know what was happened in the past, but we all know what happened, and we know these characters, and it's going to be really hard to flesh out with these characters because Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire haven't been in their spider in their costumes, like they haven't been into the in that role for years and years. And that would be a big problem for them because they have to get back into the world of Spider-Man.
Yeah, and they're both actors who are trying to move on, like, Andrew Garfield has spoken about how, he had a hard time on those films because he felt like, they were prioritizing, monetization and making a universe over character and story. So, I feel like he might be a bit reluctant to come back. And on top of that, the Spider-Verse, like, even in the comics, the Spider-Verse has such a distinct style to it, and, it's full of wacky visuals and, crazy different, like, things coming together,
and it fits into the, like, the crazy Spider-Verse, like, different worlds and everything.
Yeah, like, in Spider-Verse the film, they did that with different animation techniques for every character. Penny Parker was a kind of an anime-esque character. Like, Spider-Man Noir was, from a noir. Spider-Ham is like a cartoonish pig.
Yeah.
All that, like, it seems like Spider-Gwen is from this kind of neon, kind of alternate reality, and then Peter B. Parker is from our reality. And the thing is that you can't do those wacky visuals as well in a live-action Spider-Verse, because, you're thinking about using all this CGI, and it just wouldn't work as well as it would in an animation, because...
I have no idea how they're going to do with the villains as well.
Right, yeah. Like, if they're going to have Electro in the film, sure, but now if they're going to have, Spider Slayer, and there's rumours that...
Wait, I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but didn't Electro die?
Yeah, he did. Some people think that maybe he didn't die, and maybe he was just transported to another universe, which is possible.
Right.
I don't see why that isn't possible.
Yeah.
But it does seem like a bit of a stretch. Like, Electro was by no means everyone's favourite character,
Yeah,
like,
in the Amazing Spider-Man.
You would have thought if they were going to bring back a villain from the Spider-Man films, they'd bring back, Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn or Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus. Like, you would think that that's, like, where they would pull from, but they haven't, for whatever reason.
Who's the director? Who's going to direct this?
I think it's Tom Watts again, who did... Oh, no, John... I don't know his name.
What's his name?
I really should know his name. I think it's John Watts.
Okay, what did you do?
John Watts.
John Watts.
Okay, so he did... Yeah, so it is John Watts. He did Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man Homecoming. Other than that, nothing that I know of him. Film called Cop Car with Kevin Bacon. This is going
to be a problem.
There's normally a film that these people have done that's, like, critically acclaimed, that's supposed to
right. Okay.
be
that's
quite
a massive problem.
good.
That is a massive problem.
Yeah, I don't know how he's gonna, like, he did a fair enough job with Homecoming and Far From Home.
Yeah, and also another problem with the Spider-Verse film is about the directing style. Like, in each different one, you got Sam Raimi,
Yes.
one that did the original Spider-Man trilogy,
Mhm.
which is so good.
It is.
He did really good on that one. And then you've got a director who did the Amazing Spider-Man,
Marcwebb.
Mark.
That's mad that his last name is
Yeah,
Webb.
that's really cool. That's a really cool name. He did really good on those two films.
Yeah.
You got to give to him. He did good. He did
Yeah,
really good.
I think he did. You know, I think the best part of those films are the direction. Like, I love the first scene of Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man 2 where he's swinging through the city.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
And it's really interesting to see how a lot of people didn't like the film, but then if you watch the film, like, the things you love about it, it's still there.
Yeah.
And there's a great action scenes, action sequences with Spider-Man because it's different and it's new as well because we didn't see that in those type of films. Like,
I
we didn't
agree.
see
I agree.
Electro. There's a Spider-Man, but then you got the new MCU films today. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good point about it being new. That's what they've tried to do with Spider-Man in the MCU. So you have Civil War, where they take Spider-Man to Germany and he fights the Avengers. In Homecoming, he's in Queens and he's in Washington DC. In Infinity War, he goes to space. In Endgame, he fights with the Avengers. In Far From Home, he goes to Europe. But we haven't seen Tom Holland just in New York being Spider-Man. You know, fighting one villain.
Yeah, that's probably a problem as well because
I feel like we need him to stand on his own 2 feet without Nick Fury, without Tony Stark.
Because usually, okay, if you read the comics and watched the original films, you understand why Spider-Man needs to be on his own. Because
yes,
Spider-Man is like the character who gives up again, who don't give up, and he comes back with power. It comes back with like hopes and dreams, and especially if you play the Spider-Man game, you understand why he's like this and always cares about others.
I think
if you watch the Tom Holland one, it is not like that. It's not very
I think
because you got a billionaire with you got Nick Fury, you got this.
Yeah, I think
it just doesn't fit into the film as much.
Yeah,
you need to see an independent Spider-Man like with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. So you need that.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Verse and the Spider-Man PS4 game are really good examples of showing Peter as this kind of down-to-earth hero who is, down on his luck and struggling with, some quite relatable issues. And we haven't had that in the MCU. And speaking of Tony Stark and Nick Fury, not only is Spider-Man 3 maybe going to have Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, it's going to have Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
This is like really.
I'm not sure how this is going to be. I mean, Doctor Strange. It's a really good story.
I agree
with him and everything, but if it's got to be with him and other Spider-Man, I'm not sure how it's going to be mixed together.
Well, in the comics, Spider-Man, the world knows Spider-Man's identity.
Yeah.
And what he does is he goes to Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange changes reality, so people don't know anymore. And my thought is, well, Far From Home ended with the world finding out that Spider-Man is Peter Parker. So, like, what, is he just going to go to Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange will change it? Like, that seems really lazy in my opinion. Like,
yeah, very lazy.
Before all this news about Electro came out and all that, there was one thing that I wanted. I wanted Kraven the Hunter. I wanted it to be Kraven's Last Hunt. Spider-Man is on the run from the government, from villains, and Kraven the Hunter
trying to hide his identity from people that he loved and everyone that knows.
Everyone knows now, so the people who he loves are even more at risk, so he has to leave. He has to leave New York. And I know that I just said that I want a story of Spider-Man in New York, but for this occasion, you can still stay in New York. You can maybe like change some things. And in the comic Kraven's Last Hunt, Kraven goes after Spider-Man, and it's a really good story. And I think that would be really, really interesting. To have, the city or even the world turn against Spider-Man. Like, there hasn't been any MCU hero apart from maybe the Hulk, who people have like properly turned against. Like we've seen like some disdain against the Avengers, but nothing like huge. Like, do you remember the Morbius trailer? I know I'm stretching your imagining.
Oh.
Remember that exists?
Oh, yeah.
So in that trailer, Morbius walks past a picture of Spider-Man that says "murderer." Everyone thinks that he murdered Mysterio. So like, you know, people like J. Jonah Jameson are spreading this idea that he's a menace and all that.
When's the Mobius film coming out?
Oh man, I have no idea. Absolutely no clue.
Have a confirmed release date?
19th of March, 2021. So it's definitely coming out before Spider-Man 3, which is currently coming out in December 2021.
Okay.
Let me have a look. Yeah, 5th of December. Same day as... Oh no, 5th of November, sorry. Same day as Eternals. So I think that it'll probably get moved.
Yeah, it will.
I mean, I think everything will get moved, but I think, you know, before that'll get moved.
What else? Here's the problem with these. It's a problem with DC as well. So, if you didn't already know, DC fandom confirmed about Flashpoint.
Yes.
Confirmed everything about it, especially with returning characters like Michael Keaton's Batman. Ben Affleck's going to be in this.
Yes.
And it might be possible that all different Batman might be coming back on screen.
That's
the ones
true.
That you saw.
Yeah.
And we already know this story. But the thing with Marvel, I know all of you are thinking that they haven't done anything wrong, but it definitely shows that they're running out of ideas. You see, when the Flash story, the Flashpoint story, came out in August, like everyone, the public got told about it.
Yeah.
But then a couple of weeks ago, we just got told about Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to play catch up now, which is ironic because DC ended up making things like Justice League, which were terrible, because they were trying to play catch up with Marvel. So, but it annoys me because Marvel, you know, Spider-Man 3 is coming out before Flashpoint. So
yeah, it's going to be a problem with DC because me and Tom love DC so much.
They're great.
Movies, well, like Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Yeah, those films that we just absolutely love. But then Marvel decides to take over DC, and they're just running out of ideas. So they decided to use Spider-Verse as to use that Flashpoint idea to turn into that. So, which is super. When I got heard about this, I was super annoyed. Super annoyed.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were like, wait, just put the echo. Oh yeah, Spider-Verse. Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire. Oh yeah. So, and then
I don't know what that was at the end.
Sorry. I went a bit of a tangent. So, yeah. So a lot of people are going to be praising Marvel again.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, maybe they won't. Like, Marvel, they keep on trying to top themselves, you know? They keep on trying to think, okay, how can we make this film bigger and better than the last one? And, you know, that doesn't always work. Like, look at Amazing Spider-Man 2, look at Spider-Man 3. Both of those films tried to top what they did in the original, in the previous film. And they failed. Like, Sam Raimi has said, I shouldn't have tried to top myself. I should have instead, you know, focused on what was right for the characters. You know, concerning
that's the most
Spider-Man.
important thing about films. You gotta think about the characters and the storyline rather than doing the over-the-top things. So,
yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think, you know, like, don't try and top yourself with Spider-Man 3. Just, like, make a regular Spider-Man film, you know, like, people aren't going to dislike it. People aren't going to criticize it. A lot of people say, oh, we had 5 films with Spider-Man in New York, just being Spider-Man. Fair enough. But since then, we've had 5 films of Spider-Man not in New York, doing things with the Avengers and, going to Europe and stuff. And it's like, well, okay, well, now we can maybe go back to what we like for at least one film.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very abrupt. Yeah, empty.
Yeah. It's kind of a bit like Marvel's just getting lost now because they've made 23 films now.
Yeah, 23, I think, yeah.
And they're doing that. You see the cycle. It's just quite repetitive. Apart from some films like Infinity War.
It's and they and then they're like not just 23 films. They're also adding in TV shows now. Yeah. Like they're trying everything at once.
Yeah, they're trying to like the comics. They're trying to add everything into what's happening in the MCU. But then they don't really take out ideas from the comic. They just decided to change the directive of the films. But they have done really well with Winter Soldier, Infinity War, and then the Avengers. Those were totally different MCU films.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man. Those are
and those films kind of stuck with the with the comics as well. But then if you look at the rest, they decided to take their own ideas and not use that advantage of comics and mix them together.
Yeah, so, I agree. And a lot of those are the films that take things to the next level, but not in a way that they just want to go bigger is better. They still focus on the characters as the most important thing. And I think the Spider-Man films, the MCU ones, have been so caught up with Iron Man and this Iron Man legacy. In Civil War, the comic, Peter sides with Iron Man at first, but then realizes that that's not right because that's not what he believes in. He believes in he believes in freedom, and he rejects the Iron Spider suit and goes to Team Cap. Whereas in the MCU, he's just trying to impress he's just trying to impress Tony Stark, and he doesn't have. Well, he might have the morals, but he doesn't really present them. He has a couple of moments where he tries to save Vulture at the end of Homecoming, but he doesn't really present. I don't. Apart from a couple of scenes in Civil War, I don't feel like this is the same kid who's been told with great power comes great responsibility. I just see him as someone who's trying to impress Tony Stark and all that. And I think you got to show him learn those lessons maybe in Spider-Man 3.
And also it's a problem with the today Spider-Man MCU because there isn't any motivation for him to be Spider-Man because we didn't get any hints of Spider-Man losing Uncle Ben.
It's very strange that the whole motivation for becoming Spider-Man, the man who inspired him, hasn't been mentioned once.
This started Spider-Verse. The film started with Uncle Ben saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Exactly. Even in Spider-Verse, you have similarities between Miles and Peter because Miles also loses his uncle.
Yeah.
And, and he has things that properly drive him. Not even that, but Miles loses the original Spider-Man and he feels guilt over that throughout the narrative.
And, that film just takes a whole different level in Spider-Man. Because this film actually represents why we love superheroes and they don't give up, they strive and fight for something that's good and not to take on the path of revenge, but on the road of saving people and why they want to do that, what their motivation is. We don't see that in the MCU today, what I just said.
It feels like he's much more,
empty.
Yeah, he wants to be an Avenger, not an actual hero, and I think I'd be okay with that if he had some sort of arc where he realized that he wants to be a hero, which he has in Homecoming, but then he becomes an Avenger in Infinity War, and then that arc is totally like redacted. Like,
yeah, and using of the Avengers, that is way too quick. That's way too quick for Spider-Man to become Avenger. Way too fast, because if you like Spider-Man has to be like taking baby steps, and then slowly get recognized by the Avengers, and then maybe in a few years' time he gets accepted in the Avengers. But then Tony Stark's like, "Hey, do you want to be in Avengers?" And like, sure.
yeah,
we got a suit for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. But in it was fairly late in the game in Civil War that they added Spider-Man. But what I'm thinking is like, maybe it would have been interesting to see him before he got the Stark suit. See him in just like a regular, just like adventure, just being him in his little stupid onesie that he wears. Like, it doesn't really, like, we haven't had that kind of that early on struggle. And I get that originally they wanted
independence from Spider-Man in MCU. So I'm hoping to see that in Spider-Man 3. If not, then it's just not right.
Yeah, I agree. I understand the MCU didn't, they wanted to do something different. They didn't want to show the origin again. And I completely respect that. But at the same time, you don't have to show the origin. You just have to get the fundamentals of the character right.
They kind of didn't do like the origin route, which I liked. It didn't make the film, a bit repetitive from the Spider-Man films. Because Spider-Man Homecoming was like a different start to Spider-Man in the film, in the MCU. Because we kind of know what happened with Spider-Man in his past, but this is the problem with Spider-Man 3. It doesn't show like the backstory of it really. So, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I think they can have Spider-Man go through some. I think maybe it'd be interesting if he did meet Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and he learned something from them. That would be quite interesting.
Something that will make Spider-Man way more independent.
Yeah, like there's that's very much about Spider-Verse. Like Miles doesn't feel like he's up to the task of doing this task for Peter, who's dead, and he feels like he needs training. But then he meets his other Spider people, and he realizes that he can be Spider-Man. Anyone can wear the mask. What makes you different is what makes you Spider-Man. These are lines that
that
are all in the film, and
the character as well as and also there might be some returning characters in Spider-Man 3, like in the old films, like you've got the neighbor, like the landlord in Spider-Man, in the original Spider-Man trilogy. That might return back. That could actually really be.
He won't. Like, I don't. That would be the weirdest thing for him to come back.
That would be really weird.
That would be so strange. I don't really know, because. Sure.
And also,
I guess so.
I really wish they bring back the Spider-Man magic. Like the thrippy, like the the magic that we see on the big screen of Spider-Man. But it didn't fit into the MCU, because if you watch like the old trilogy, it's fun, easy to watch, and there's backstory, and it's really good. I'm not sure how to expand on that, but
yeah, I agree. Anything else to add?
The other problem with what DC Spider-Man 3, I'm not sure, but there's one more thing that kind of think about on Spider-Man 3. Did we talk about the villains here? We talked about the villains.
Sinister Six, maybe?
The way that they've been teasing it, it wasn't because usually you need to tease something to tease at some film or at the end of the film or to go with Spider-Man 3, but no, there wasn't anything to go with the hype, because if it did, that would make the Spider-Man 3 more interesting. But then we just got we just got Spider-Man 3. How about we just get Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and put them together, and boom.
Yeah, I feel it does feel a bit abrupt. Like you know, you're throwing all this stuff into one film, and it's gonna feel super cluttered. And we've seen that twice. We've seen it in Spider-Man 3, the original. You know, they had Venom, they had New Goblin, they had Sandman. It didn't work. And then they had that in Amazing Spider-Man 2. They had Rhino, they had Electro, they had Green Goblin. It doesn't work. We've seen it doesn't work. And so now you're doing 2 villains at the very least, apparently, and then 3 Spider-Men. Like, that's too many.
Yeah, just hoping... But it would be really, really good if they have Kraven the Hunter.
I would love Kraven the Hunter so much, but at the same time, I don't want him to share the spotlight with Electro and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, so I think I'd prefer them to do Kraven and the Hunter on his own. And it seems that there's going to be a Kraven the Hunter film, so maybe that will be Kraven's Last Hunt. That would be cool. I think I'd quite like that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
But I'm quite concerned about it because we all know it's Marvel, the one that's been controlled by Disney, and Disney is not going to like the ideas, and I feel like it's going to be another fan service, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
What are your thoughts about it, everyone? In the comments, please tell us.
Let us know.
What do you think about Spider-Man 3?
Throw us an email. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you don't want. You know, and we will.
This is a very weird time for superheroes and movies as well, because they're not coming out soon. And and we didn't talk much about the Batman set pictures.
There were some set pictures of the Batman.
Looked
pretty cool.
Yeah, they looked pretty cool. They had really cool suits. So, I feel like Marvel is just trying to take the spotlight again.
I agree.
I'm just hoping that they just don't make it a bit weird and fan servicey.
I agree. I think character should come before everything else.
They should definitely focus on character. They should definitely focus on character, because if they do, that will make the film a little bit better. But if they don't, like what you said about going on being on top, that would work at all, and it should be a little bit all over the place, like me in the ground.
Oh my God, John! Don't worry, we've got the firemen are gonna come and get you. Did they do that?
Please, I need to get my milk.
Is it Sherlock season 4 where there's
Sherlock?
Well, there's a dead brother in a well. Do you remember that? Do you remember that in Sherlock season 4?
Oh, Sherlock season 4.
There's a dead brother in the well.
What?
You've seen Sherlock season 4, right?
Yeah, I did.
Watson or Sherlock, someone gets trapped inside.
Watson gets.
Yeah, in a well, and there's there's the bones of the dead brother.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a dog, but
no, he thought it was a dog.
Yeah, we all thought it was a dog, but then it was the brother.
Great, good content.
That was a great ending, Tom.
Yay!
Well, that's the end of the main segment, but now we are going to the viewing segment. Oh no, did I hit the chessboard? Oof, I nearly hit the chessboard. That would have made a lot of chaos and have to pick them up. But yeah, welcome to the weekly viewing segment.
Welcome one and all.
Yes. There will be no casting news and no weird news at all.
John,
enjoy what we just watched.
John, we just got some casting news. Breaking news. I'm joking. Imagine. What a time to be alive.
I would go absolutely crazy.
Yeah. I only watched one thing this week. So
Yeah,
What-
I've been watching a lot of stuff this week.
Well, all right, what did you watch then? Tell me, because I've literally only seen one thing this week.
So recently he got a new phone. Surprise, surprise. And he got a free year of Apple TV.
Oh, cool.
And it was a family one.
Cool.
And so I got it, and I looked through, and there was one interesting show that I've been watching this whole week, and it was called the Good Morning Show.
Oh, yes, I've heard about it. Jennifer Aniston, right?
Jennifer Aniston, Steve Carell,
Yes.
and other great actors as well. So I've been watching it. It's really good so far. There wasn't much on it, but it was very different to like with any TV shows because this is more focused on news and more like about media and what like the perceptions about like the perceptions and the way that we look on news, like a way that we address to the things that are important to us in the world, like climate change, terrible things like weather and as well. So this is focused on three people in this TV show. So you've got Steve Carell's character, Jennifer Aniston, and you've got Reese Witherspoon. And those two, actress Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, they have been in Friends.
Yes, they were. They played sisters.
And, yeah, it's a very interesting chemistry between these characters in the film, in the TV show. Sorry, and you do see a different side to Jennifer Aniston because she's a lot more different in this one. Because usually she's like a very like a quirky character.
Yeah.
Very quirky in like Friends or in films. But this one, she's way serious and she's great in it. She's great. And Steve Carell, he's like a bit like the same from other stuff as well, but he's a little bit more serious in this one. But it kind of reminds me of like the old arguments in The Big Short. You know, like the film with Ryan Gosling.
Yes, I love that film.
So he's kind of like that, but a bit more serious and a bit more weird. But I'm not sure. And you've got Reese Witherspoon, who is you see her. It is a very, very interesting character development in this TV show because she was like really angry at the start, but then she goes a bit on a different life path in this one. And it's very interesting to see how these characters mix together, and it's very interesting to see how the way these people show the news to the audience in America, because they believe that the Good Morning Show is like the ultimate show for America, and a Jennifer Aniston character believes that she is important to America. She wants to be like, you know, the like Jesus of America, like the king or the queen of America. Like everyone treats her.
She is
her,
Jesus.
And, but she's a news anchor, a correspondent, and it's interesting how these people treat the news as it is, and not trying to tell us the truth, but instead like trying to give us the soft news, and it's very, very. It's a drama, but there's a little bit of comedy in it. But it's mainly a drama. I'm really loving it so far. It's very serious. I definitely recommend it. But I can't give you the rating yet because I'm only 2 episodes away. There's only 8 episodes, so it's an hour long, or 9 episodes. I'm sorry. I definitely recommend it. But Apple TV, give it a shot. I only in one TV show for this Apple TV, so there's gonna be like films and but there's gonna be a Bill Murray film in Apple TV. So yeah.
Isn't that the one directed by Sofia Coppola?
I think so.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
It's not the best, but TV shows so far, but it's a bit more. It's enjoyable to watch, a bit more serious, and but I'm not sure how to rate it. So I definitely watch it. Go watch it. whoever's interested in like news or behind the scenes or something like some serious drama, go watch it. It's really good.
Cool. I literally watched one thing this week. So I watched The Farewell, which is
The Farewell.
Yes.
Oh, that's a foreign film, right?
It is. It's Chinese, and it was just incredible. It was on Apple TV. Not Apple TV. That was what you watched it on. It was on Amazon Prime, and
Oh, really?
I really, 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 really enjoyed how it presented the difference between Western and Middle Eastern family, how they deal with different things.
Oh.
It took like it was like mostly a drama, but there were like some really, really funny like things in it, which I really
it's a bit
appreciated.
like,
but it wasn't. But that wasn't like unnecessary. It was interwoven into the plot.
that's kind of like that in the Gourmet show, yeah.
Right, yeah. So it was like I really did enjoy how they did it, and one of the things that really like interested me was how I really thought that I knew where the narrative was going, but it didn't go that way, and it went in a more unconventional, even kind of experimental film kind of direction, which I really appreciated. And like for me, I would have preferred the ending to end with this walk that happens at the end. All the characters are walking and it cuts to black, and I thought, wow, that is such a cool ending. But then it kept on going, and I didn't dislike what happened after that. I thought, if anything, it's a better ending to the actual film. But personally, like, my personal preference would be for it to end just a little bit sooner. But yeah, like, a lot of the like actors like did like really good jobs, and I was surprised by Awkwafina, who I've never seen anything, but obviously I know her as more a comedy actress, but no, I really appreciated her role in it. And yeah, it's a true story, which is interesting.
Really? True story?
Yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I think I'd probably give it like critically a 10 out of 10, but for my own like personal viewings, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because I had like little things that I would have preferred personally. But yeah, it's on Apple. No.
Oh my God.
It's
You're
on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Apple Prime, John. It's on Apple Prime.
Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime, and it's great. Watch it. Yeah, I recommend it a lot.
So, another film I watched this week, but it hasn't been mentioned in the podcast last week. It was called Schindler's List.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow. This is a very, very dark film. It's a very harrowing, dark film.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very good film. And usually when it comes to Holocaust films, we all know how it ends, how it's going to be portrayed in this one. But this one, it takes on a very dark note. It's very, very dark. I keep saying it, but it follows up with Oskar Schindler, who was part of the Nazi party.
Yes.
And then you get to see him with other workers, and the workers end up somewhere in the concentration camp, and it has very emotional moments in this film, especially the ending, because it reflects on Oskar Schindler, and he's a true.
It's
hero.
worth noting that it's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story. It's a very sad true story, but it has like one of the most satisfying endings. And
does it though? Does it like the ending is one of the most like, in my opinion at least, super bittersweet. Like
yeah, bittersweet. Yeah. No, not satisfying ending. Sorry, I shouldn't use that. Yeah, bittersweet ending. Because you get to see this character who was part of the Nazi party, but then you see this arc of redemption, and usually when it comes to heroism and people like heroism, they think, oh, this is my job, this is over. But then when you get to see like the true hero, it's like, have you seen Hacksaw Ridge?
No.
Anyway, it's like that, but it's like a hero has done his job, but he wants to do more. Like,
Yeah.
Who could I have saved?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the true mentality of someone who cares about like saving these people. And yeah, it's just very emotional at the end. And like, if you save one person, you save the whole world. And Liam Neeson did a really good job of being.
He did. He's incredible in that film, and Ray Fiennes as well.
And Ben Kingsley.
Like the whole cast are great.
Yeah, the casting is really good, and yeah, the ending shot of it is just pretty emotional. It's just like giving it to Rose to Oscar Schindler.
Yeah.
This is definitely a 10 out of 10. If you
without a doubt.
Yeah, this is a very, very sad film. Brings tissues, because it's a pretty emotional one.
It is.
And if you're interested in history, or if you're a huge film lover, obviously this is a film podcast, obviously. Yeah, go ahead and watch it. And this is a film that everyone has to see.
I agree.
A lot of people. This is a very weird statistics in America. I don't know what the I don't know what the statistics are, but forgive me. But so the statistics are like a third of people in America thought the Holocaust didn't actually happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's too many. Too many.
Yeah, that's very worrying, because a lot of people are rejecting, saying that the Holocaust is fake, it's not real, and that's very worrying, because you need a generation of people who are very knowledgeable about the past, what the world has done, and not try to repeat this. And everyone has to see it, and it also educate on to be a good person, and how you could be that person film changes us all, and this one impacts everything about it. On us and the way that we treat others, and here's another thing about, like, we get divided by politics, we get divided by religion, we get divided on race and everything, and that's the true reality of our world. We get divided by everything, but if there's a good person who doesn't forgets about that and focuses on the people and all of us, about friends, family, and anyone in particular, that's the goal that we want to do, because we don't want to do like the bad stuff, and it's kind of impossible to be the good person, but it is possible to be the good person. And yeah, so, and we gotta be careful what we gotta do in the future.
Poetry John, everybody. Poetry John.
Yeah.
What a man.
I give this to a film 10 out of 10, obviously,
Definitely.
What I said. And whoever's seen it, whoever hasn't seen this or don't know what actually happened, go watch this. Go and share everyone about this. And yeah, it is truly a sad film.
I agree.
Yeah. Sorry to end that a really depressing note.
Well, I can make it even more depressing. We didn't get any emails this week. So we'll have to skip the weekly email segment, and we'll go straight to the outro. If you want to get in touch with us, we're at outsidetimefilmpod.
Yeah.
At
if
Gmail.
you're interested in films that we haven't seen.
Yeah,
Just tell us.
Tell us what
email.
you've been watching. Like, tell us what you think about Spider-Verse. You know, tell us about Disney Plus shows. We're talking about that next week about the Mandalorian. Tell us about literally anything, any film, any TV show, any graphic novel, book. Like, we'll talk about it. Game. Like, yeah, we welcome your opinions. You can also get in touch with us on Twitter. I'm at Tom the Boardman on Twitter.
I am at ComedyJohn42. Gotta change it, but I don't really want to change it.
Change to Poetry John.
If this video gets
whatever it is, it won't get it.
whatever it is,
But yeah, so that's us personally. But if you want to get in touch with us on the actual podcast, we're at Alstime Film Pod at Twitter.
If you have any news in the film industry, that
John,
we don't know,
John,
do tell us, because
buddy,
there's so many stuff that's happening in the film industry right now.
Dude, I'm trying to promote the Instagram account.
Oh, sorry.
We're at Alstime Film Pod on Twitter and at Instagram. So follow us and DM us there if you want to, send things that way.
That would be so helpful to us.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to spread this podcast to film lovers and everyone that we know are interested in this film, in these films, and other nerd culture as well. Like comics.
we've got stuff to say. But or leave a comment and if you want to talk about stuff from the comments and like this video if you enjoyed it, please. It does help the channel out a lot.
Please do share.
Yes,
and share about us about being idiots. We are, but we just love talking about films. And
maybe don't tell that to people who are about to listen to it. Listen to this podcast.
Say,
it's two idiots.
Those are the people who are talking a lot about films. So do subscribe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it for this week. Next week we're going to be talking about Disney Plus shows. We're talking about so right now we'll be talking about 6 of those. We might trim that down a little bit because we might talk about that for a while. There could
be other news this week.
Yeah, that might change because there's news, but we don't think anything big will happen. But yeah,
unless something happened.
Nothing will happen unless something happens. Like, we don't know.
I'm stuck in the well.
Are you stuck in the well? Tune in next time. Will John get out of the well? Tune in next time to see.
Please like.
Well, until next time. Take what you're given.
Give nothing back.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Chat.
Bye.